What's up, guys, and welcome to this interview. I'm really excited to finally have this conversation with Felix. We've been working together for 1.5 years now, quite some time. And yeah, I can say that your life also changed a lot in the last 1.5 years. So I'm happy for you to share some insights of your journey of becoming a digital middleman and yeah, working remote. First of all, how are you doing, Felix? I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing me. Also excited for the interview. And yes, I'm doing pretty good. Just came from another sales call. Yes, but that's actually what I like and what you introduced me like 1.5 years ago. So thank you so much also for the opportunity working with you together.
You're very welcome. I was very happy to start working with you, and you did phenomenal. We'll go into your story a bit more in just a moment. Essentially, I've been working with your brother, right? Even longer. I think it's 2 years now with Max, who's an amazing case study, right? He's been very successful in the space, also has an amazing story. I recently recorded an amazing podcast with him also. And I want to start the interview off by telling a bit of the story of how you got into sales, or more so into this opportunity of working remote closing deals, right? Max was doing it already very successful. He's your twin brother. He started a few months earlier than you did. And I remember Max telling me many times that you said, I will never do this. I would never do this thing that you're doing, closing deals. Tell us, Felix, why were you so skeptical in the beginning? And why did you say, I never do this? What changed that you're here now doing it yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm not sure if I know the exact story, but I also remember this time I was with Max and also Amelie, pretty good in Mallorca. We have been in a beach club. We spent a nice day there, and like Amelie, she was working also with Max like few years ago, and they had some network activities. And then Max introduced this business to Amelie, and I was sitting there and I was thinking, no, I will never do this. I had my 9 to 5. I was working in real estate and I had a nice company car and I had nice colleagues and everything for me was fine because I also didn't know at this point or at this time that yeah, you actually need a little bit more money. It's not all about money, but you actually need a little bit more money than average to have a nice life. And it's not about spending money, it's also about keeping money, investing money. And but yes, also spending money with good friends, family, and so on. And then this moment, like Amelie, she was very excited. And then, like for me, the question was because Max, like he knew you and he had all the connections. And then I was also asking, okay, so everyone like Max is talking to, they like it, except me. So what's the reason? Maybe there is like something. Maybe it's with me and not with the others. And yeah, then I was talking to Max. I was talking to you, and then there came a very good opportunity and yeah, I just took it, and this actually definitely changed my life.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that you say everybody who heard about this opportunity or closing deals online was like, hey, this sounds amazing. It's really good. I remember from other interviews from other clients who, of course, you know from inside the program, like Hendrik, right?
Hmm.
He said he's telling his friends about the opportunity, and they're like, it sounds too good to be true, right? And yeah, it's funny that you say, yeah, I was skeptical, but then you started reflecting, thinking, maybe there's something to this. So, like you said, an opportunity came around, right? And when you joined the program and we started working together, we fast-tracked you, right? Through having the support of your brother who was already successful, and then through me inside the program. Also knowing Amelie, another client that we recorded an amazing interview with. We took you on a fast track and you started doing very well very quickly. So how was it to jump on the first calls? I mean, at the time you were already working a sales job, right? You mentioned real estate, and yet this was a very new opportunity for you, closing the products that we're closing, right? Which is mentorship, consulting, coaching programs. How was it getting started in this new space?
Yeah. So I think what's very interesting and what also changed my mind is that I was thinking like maybe the wrong way. because like for me it was like okay, like there are people in the call and I need to sell them something and maybe they actually don't like it, but it's exactly the opposite. They come here because they have a problem, they have a reason, so they ask for our help. So this is not cold traffic or something like this. They are pretty warm, and then yeah, they actually following us since a long time already. And then they come in the call and you like you have a good time. You introduce the program, you tell them what we offer, and then it's doesn't have to do anything with pressure. It's just like, do they want to get started or do they not want to get started? And this is something which I always have in my mind because we like for the programs I or for the people I work with, it's there are for it's not short term. They are like they're looking for a long term relationship. Also, when it comes later to affiliate partnership, so there is no reason in like selling something to people which they don't need or they're not interested. They need this for a specific reason, and if they don't need this, they will also not buy. So that's simple.
It's amazing for me to always see this exact realization from people who get into the space closing deals online because they're like, oh, this is like it's different. It's not door knocking, it's not cold calling. You don't have to ask, oh, are you please interested? Chasing people, sending messages. None of that,
Mm.
right? It's I always say the dark side of sales is when you really have to hustle to just find somebody who's interested. The cool thing here is that literally companies do 90% of the work for you, right? They pay for the marketing, the ads, the organic content, they nurture the leads, meaning giving them all the information they need to know, is this something for me, right? And then these people join a call with you after going through a process, being pre-qualified, and then, yeah, everything already makes sense. All you do is ask a few questions, help them make a decision, and then that's really it. Of course, there's a bit more to it in knowing what questions to ask in the right tonality at the right time, having the right mindset to be able to do this in the first place. But it's simple. It's not easy, it's simple. And you're great at what you do because you have the right mindset, the right approach, right? But yeah, when it comes to your success, do you want to share a bit how it went also numbers wise? I mean, people get into this to make money. How was your journey? Because you've become very successful very quickly. So you started like almost everybody. You started as a digital middleman on the side, as a side hustle, right? So you had your normal job and university, and then after all of that, right, you started. And yet, with just a little time input, you hit some really good numbers. So I'd be happy for you to share that.
Yes, of course. Obviously, I can also share some numbers from my side because maybe this is also the reason why people are listening to this interview because they're also excited about numbers. So, as you mentioned correctly, I did this like as a side hustle, and after 9 to 5 and after university, yeah, I went online and I closed some deals, and this is like I think what you also recommend to other people is doing this as a side hustle at the beginning to figure out if they like it, if they don't like it, if it is something for them, if it is not something for them. So when it comes to exact numbers, like I had a good job and I also did a good job there, so I had a proper payment, like for average people, which is completely fine. But then after working more, investing more time, closing deals online. In the first month, I already had between 5,000 and 6,000 euros additionally. And this was the time where I was thinking, okay, so this is something which is really working. Okay, and then month after month, and it increased, and now it's the yeah, it's yeah, it's like way more. But yes, at the beginning for me it was very nice experience, and I was also happy having some additional money.
Yeah, I mean, you're a very humble guy, so it's not normal for you to share the numbers that you're doing. Last month, especially, we're now in January 2025. Last month, especially, I think was your best month so far, and you hit some nice goals there. What was your last month in income?
Yeah, also for me it was crazy because I never thought that you can make that much money, like from home working from home, like having your calendar where you can make availabilities, where you can like shut the calendar down so you're not getting booked and you like live a completely freedom. Okay. So like last month it was more than 20,000 euros in total cash collected. And this like also for me it's very, very good.
And just for clarity, for some people who may not understand the business model totally, do you have any costs, anything you need to pay from that to make that money?
Yeah, actually, yes, it's I think 17 euros for Zoom, but that's it. So,
Yeah.
so it's yeah, you don't have any expenses. Yeah, you just need a Zoom account and that's it. Yeah.
And your brother also said this on our podcast that the crazy is that you live a risk-free life. Like if you have a skill that you know is in demand, like the industry is skyrocketing. There's projections for like how many billions of hundreds of billions of dollars are going to be made in this industry in the next few years. And if you have a skill that's needed in the market, you can just do the exact same thing. Just talk to people day in, day out with, like I said, no more cost than a premium Zoom subscription and make money. You don't have the hustle of employees learning this skill and this part of a business and investing a bunch of money up front, nothing. Like after you join the
Mhm.
program, right? I mean, investing into a mentorship, then it's all the money is
Like
there for the taking for you.
this was the hardest decision also for me because during this time I hadn't this mindset already what I have now and you know like you because you get so many ads on Facebook on Instagram and everyone tries to sell you something, but this is like for me in the end this was something which pretty very good worked out. So this is yeah something I will not regret at all, and it was the best decision ever. And what also comes with the knowledge, like the network, you know, the people you are in contact with. Because as you mentioned already, you're independent. You can work for, I don't know, 1 year with this guy and then another year with the other one. And if you have the right network, you will never be unemployed in your whole life because people, closers, they are needed like a lot.
Yeah. It's also crazy when you look at your journey, like your normal life, who you hang out with, right? And then like the people that you suddenly enter a room with. I know that through closing deals, through the businesses that you've gotten in since you joined the program, we've gotten you in touch with three big businesses, right?
Mhm.
Doing multiple six figures a month. And that also took you to the exact same mastermind that Max and I attended with people like Ty Lopez, right? Speaking to tons of multimillionaires, sharing their learnings, which is great for networking, but overall just being there with people who show you what's possible. And yeah, it's crazy to see where you started and where you are now, and it's an amazing journey so far. So Felix, you just told me that you wanted to add one more thing, which is that many people in this space build a big brand, they run a business. Also, after becoming a digital middleman or a closer, they work with people who run businesses who are very successful. They learn directly from them. And again, what we've said many times, this makes you think bigger. It shows you what's possible. And you can start a business afterwards, right? You can also just take your income, invest it, have passive income through your investments. You have to make money first to be able to invest, right? This is a great vehicle to make money. You said for me, this is perfect. You don't want to build a business. You don't want to be a brand. You don't want to show everybody who you are. Why did you say this is perfect for you?
At least at this point in my life, but it doesn't mean that I will not build a business in 2 years, in 3 years. But that's also good because you are like you're very flexible. You can like you can work with other people. You can also build an own business and like maybe reduce also sales calls. So this is completely fine and is also yeah something which you can combine with your business. But you know like. I like my father, but and I really love my family and they're also doing a good job. But when it comes to any advices, business advices, you have to be very careful. But once my father said, like, eh, like the best thing you can have is, like in his opinion, obviously, and I can relate, is when you make a good amount of money nobody knows you. You have less responsibility, and you're like a submarine. Like nobody knows you, and you just like what you're doing, but you don't have to do any after sales. You don't have to communicate to people afterwards if they have any. I don't know if there is something. So yes, this is yeah, which I have always in my mind at this point in my life, but this doesn't mean that I will not also build a brand or like a business in future.
Yeah, again, you have the flexibility. You can just
Right.
do your thing, close deals. You get up in the morning, you know exactly. You'll have the same conversation with, of course, different people. Everybody's unique, but you know what you're doing. You get up in the morning, there's no uncertainty. You just do your thing and
Mhm.
you know you'll make a lot of money. And of course, you can take the next step, start a business, do bigger things. Like I did, starting to run sales teams, building sales teams for companies, right? Also, many of our clients now have taken that next step, running sales teams, which again gives you a passive income through having a revenue share with other sales reps and yeah, taking those next steps. But again, this opportunity is what you want to make of it.
I think you're also the best example for yeah, like starting a sales job and then also helping other people yeah, getting insights, getting knowledge. And this is also something you live for, and this is something all the people in the program yeah, very much respect and appreciate.
Yeah, and like you said, it is my passion. I love
Yeah.
what I'm doing, be able to share this because it genuinely changed my life. Just like you said, it changed your life. And being able to show other people that path, also being very transparent, like, guys, this is not money falling from the sky. But if you're able to do what I did and what you did too, Felix, which is be committed and have a strong why you're doing this, then yeah, the world is there for the taking. You can achieve so much more than you may think right now. So yeah, that's the
But
advice.
also, Nick, maybe one last thing, maybe also an advice: don't ask too many questions. Just do it. That's something like is what really helps you. Don't ask too many questions. Just do it. Yeah.
True. Some people overthink. It's about execution.
Mhm.
One person that we've both had the pleasure of also networking with as at a mastermind, who's doing millions per month, right? He said, imperfect action always beats no action, meaning you don't have to be perfect. Just do it, or just doing it will always be better than not doing it for all the reasons you come up with. So asking questions, being curious is great, but sometimes if you get advice, meaning do this, just do it, just execute. You will get to the next step, and you can ask more questions, and everything will take care of itself.
But that's also the reason why we all have mentors, and people we yeah, we get help from. Yeah. So thank you, Nick.
I've said it so many times, but this opportunity is what you want to make out of it, right? You can work 2, 3, 4 hours. I mean, you did just that. You worked from 7 till midnight, which is 5 hours, right? On the side of your job. And that
Mhm.
took you to 5 to 6K on top of your income from the job, right? And in total, that took you to 10K plus in the first month of closing.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's crazy, right? You don't need to quit your job, none of that. I know that again, that you were very skeptical in the beginning, so it was great for you to be able to start on the side, right? Add 5 to 6K to your already existing income from the job and prove to yourself what's possible. And yeah, I
100%.
also wanted to ask you because you've become very successful in the space, just like your brother has. What advice do you have to people who yeah, maybe as skeptical as you were in the beginning. Like, ah, I'm not sure about this thing. It sounds too good, or I'm not sure if I can do it. What
Mm.
advice would you give these people?
Like for me, it was only one thing which brought me into this business, and it's 100% like the people I'm hanging around with. So because like you, Max, and my brother Max, like you both, you helped me so much, and this is something maybe when it comes to the advice, like to spend time with the right people. And then they can also help you with different things, and then you will have like a nice contact, and you all like you're all driven to work, and you're dedicated, and you want to move like something, and not just chilling and relaxing and partying. So this is not good. These are not the right people, especially if you are at the beginning, as I was. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to change your surrounding for, like I've said it many times, have other people show you what's possible. We're like, wow, they are doing it and they're not really that different from me. Maybe it seems like it, but everybody starts somewhere, right? I mean, from my own journey, I remember this was all new to me when I started. I've never done
Mhm.
this before. I had no
Mhm.
clue, right? But if you just get started, you get the right advice from the right people. If you're in a space where like, hey, all the people I hang out with, all my friends and people back home, wherever you live, are not the right influence, get the right contacts online. You have access to, for example, mentorship, like the art of closing. It's We never met each other in person until we've been working together for already 1 year, right? And you'd already started making 5 figures per month. And then for the first time we met in person. But still, you were able to gain so much out of us just having the connection online, right? Joining the live calls, learning from everybody inside the program. And you're also a great example for people who may have the limiting belief to think, oh, I'm not extroverted, I'm not an entertainer, I can't do sales. I say this many times, Felix, you're a man of few words. You just enter the call, you're very polite, you have a smooth conversation with people, you're laid back, you ask them the right questions and let them talk. You don't
Mhm.
need to be an extrovert for sales. Actually, being introverted gives you great strength, like naturally being very good at listening to people and understanding. So maybe in one sentence to people who don't understand what it is that you're doing, how do you explain what you're doing for a living, making, like said last month, 20K?
Mhm. So obviously it has something to do with sales, and I also I'm not doing this because I have too much time or I'm bored or something. So it's obviously also because of the nice income it comes with. But like the experience I have is like all the people like they come into a call, like the prospects, they have been in contact with other coaches, with other closers, with other people. They try to sell them something like pretty hard. And then what I hear many times is they come to me and they tell me, "Oh, nice. I didn't expect this. Everything is so relaxed. Like you are the guy I want to work with because not something with pressure, not something with something which is not reachable or something like this. Like just talk about facts. Obviously you need to have a nice product, you need to have a nice consulting business, but then it works, you yeah just tell the people like no bullshit, just tell them what really works and that they need to put some time in and they need to invest some money. People know this is not something new for them, and then let them decide, and obviously with the right questions and with the right words and with the perfect frame, which I also learned from you. It is also possible to close people with not that much words and also as an introvert. Yeah.
You've said it perfectly in that people nowadays are seeing so many ads and gurus and online businesses, and so much sounds so easy. And oh, you just copy and paste, and AI does all the work and whatever, and all of that stuff. And people who are just looking for the easiest thing out there, sure, go for it. This opportunity, right, isn't the easiest. It's simple though, meaning you don't have to focus on 20 different skills, build a business and whatever. You just focus on one skill, which is communication, get good at it, and you can make money forever. And that's, I think, nowadays when online mentorings, coachings, and everything is getting more and more popular, you're standing out if you're just honest. If you're just like, hey, this isn't money falling from the sky. You're gonna have to put in some work. You're gonna have to be consistent. But if you're serious about making a change and you're able to do that, you can make this opportunity work. There's a very clear step-by-step plan, right? And yeah, you've said it perfectly in that don't try too hard. Try to help someone. Let them make a decision that makes sense for them. Just ask them what's the next logical step for you. And let them see if they want to change something or not. Usually people do. That's why they're on the call with you, right? I often say sales is like golf. If you try to hit the ball too hard, you're gonna mess up your shot. If you just focus on the process that you know that you've learned, meaning the technique, right? Of just taking a smooth, easy swing, ball's gonna fly perfect. Same thing in sales. Don't focus on the result like, oh, I gotta make the sale. Focus on communicating, understanding the person, helping them, and the rest will take care of itself. And then, like you said many, many times, you have a very smooth experience. Sure, sometimes there's a prospect that you don't click with, right? They're not the right fit, right? You don't have an amazing conversation. That happens. But most of the time, people are really thankful for you being honest with them, helping them make the right decision and change their life for the better. And yeah, it's really, really good to have you share your story of your life changing so quickly. I remember that Max at the time told me, yeah, my brother, he's doing like 1 to 2K a month in like his real estate job, doing it on the side of university. And then you starting in this space, right? I mean, for you and your brother, your life changed, right? From the
Yeah.
lifestyle you can afford, the freedom you have, the person who you've become in the last year and a half that we've been working together.
Mm.
So again, thank you for sharing your story, Felix. I think it's been really insightful, and I'm really, really happy to continue being part of your journey for you to hit the next goals. And yeah, let's go.
Thank
Let's
you
take
so
it from
much,
there.
Nick. Thank you so much. Very appreciated. Thank you.
For everybody who's watched this interview, right? I'm sure there's been some insights for you to understand kind of what it is that we're doing and also advice for you to get started in the industry. If you want to know more, check out the link below, right? And just apply to work one-on-one with me and my team if you want to become a digital sales rep, a digital middleman, a closer, however you want to call it. And just like Felix, make money by having simple conversations.